We covered the probationary period now. Right. Now, during the probationary period, it gives both parties, as I have stated, the opportunity to negotiate their contract, or see if the employee is fit for the position, and from your side to see if you want to continue to work for this company. If I understand it correctly, you stated that you are quite happy with the company. They paid you every month and there was never any problems with the company.
That's correct. They did pay me a salary every month.
So what is it that you would have still liked to negotiate with them?
The employment, why did they retrench me?
Okay. All right. So now with the retrenchment, it is very interesting because this piece of paper which states here that it is an offer of employment with some elements of a temporary contract, which is not in a contractual format or professionally done in the sense of where both parties understand what the relationship would be, because the employment contract basically covers all the aspects of the employment relationship. You now received a telephone call stating that you are retrenched. Was there any policy that you are familiar with in this company which was a retrenchment policy?
No,
okay.
Never.
All right, so it's also very interesting that you are retrenched a month before the end of your contract. Until when did you get paid?
End of March. They did pay me on the 25th of March 2020.
Did they pay you this month?
Never.
Okay, so how do we deal with this now? Because if they say this is a legal document, which I don't agree with, it's in a certain sense that we can work with a document, thank you, from our side. The fact remains is that now you are short of 1 month's pay. When they retrench you, there is a certain process that needs to be followed with a retrenchment. They can't say that you are retrenched because of the COVID-19 restrictions and that you can't work. They can't just go about and retrench you. That is unacceptable because the Labour Relations Act, as well as the Basic Conditions of Employment Act, is still in force in this country. So it could be actually a very interesting point now, because they said you're retrenched. Okay, we're going to work with that also. But the fact remains is that no process has been followed with you. You had the expectation that your work is fantastic, you're going to carry on with your employment, but there is no basis. There is nothing, there's no contract of employment. So the fact remains is we're going to now have to interpret according to this document, which is an offer of employment, as well as the basic conditions, as well as the LRA. Now we're going to mash them all together, and then we're going to come to a conclusion. Is this a dismissal or is this a retrenchment? Now I'm going to give you my opinion on just the contractual side. We are going to still deal with many other issues also during my consultation with you, because there are so many angles in this, and it's such an interesting case that I can't wait to make you part of this process, where I want to show to both the employer as well as the employee how important the basic aspects are of an employer and employee relationship, of which I believe up till today the one of them is the contract. So if there is the minimum information that's in the contract, I want to tell you that I consult with many companies where I look at the contract of employment and it's a thick one. And then I think, okay, fine. So you have the basics now in this thick document. And then I asked them, but where's your company policies? Then they show me the policies. And I asked them, okay, so does every manager in your company have a copy of this document, which is the policies and procedures document? Then they say, no. There's too many. There's too many divisions and too many departments, and I don't know what the excuses are that I have to listen to. Now, I think to myself now, if you don't have it accessible to the employees, then how will the employee ever know what the policies are? And surely you as a company will have to cover yourself backwards and forwards now with policies, due to the fact that the latest policy that the employer should be working on is specifically pertaining to a situation where there is no work coming in. And how are they then going to sit around the table and negotiate or discuss or consult with the employees with regards to, we can't pay you anymore? It doesn't plain and straight mean I can just dismiss you. I can just say to you, sorry, you're retrenched. It doesn't boil down to this. So you told me that you have not seen any policy whatsoever in that company. So this leaves the door wide open for you as the employee to say, but then I interpret my document in this manner. The employer has no leg to stand on because there's not a proper contract. There are no policies and procedures in place. So this company is lacking the basics of what a company should have. Even if you are a small entrepreneurial company with 4 or 5 employees, I will advise that company to contact me, or just make sure that you have your basic policies in a file where everybody will have insight into that file of what the policies are and under which circumstances am I employed here as an employee. What it boils down to, in short, is that I cannot see that it's a retrenchment. If they're going to say that it's a retrenchment, then I would differ. I would say that this is a dismissal. It's an unfair dismissal. And because of the fact that they have not negotiated with you, or that they not have spoken to you, or that they basically gave you no feedback whatsoever, it makes it an unfair dismissal. But it could also end up as a constructive dismissal due to the fact that they decided before they phoned you that you are dismissed without discussing it with you. At this note, I'm going to end off the contract, but I want to please invite people to make sure that your contract in your company is 100% correct. One word in one paragraph can actually make a big difference in this relationship. Just as a matter of interest, before I end off, before I forget, what about the confidentiality in your position? Is there a confidentiality clause in this document?
No.
Okay.
Nothing.
And your position is that of a?
Sales representative.
Sales representative. So there are no restrictive covenants in this document?
Nothing.
Okay. So employer, what do I tell you now? Is that unfortunately, due to this man is sitting with all the knowledge about the clients, the contracts that was actually signed with these clients, the quotes that were given to these clients. And this person has no obligation whatsoever to handle any of this information in confidentiality, because it's nowhere stated in this document. So you have all this information, and yes, they can only now depend on your goodwill, whatever you want to call it. However, they did not cover themselves with regards to any restrictions around confidentiality or restrictive covenants. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
We will do the next part, which will be if this is a retrenchment and why I said it's not a retrenchment.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.